Hello, Facebook.
What is up, everybody? How's it going? I mean,
Another day in paradise.
look at this.
It's beautiful out there. All that blue.
This is when our job is very easy.
I know, and I
We
wish
just
it could just be this way.
Kind of sit back and relax.
Yeah, I like having an easy job, but I also like having a job. If it was like this every day, we probably wouldn't have one.
You're right. We would definitely not have work if the weather was the same every day. So
Yeah.
hopefully everyone's having a fantastic Tuesday as you get your week going here. A couple of really nice days in a row. I guess the one stark contrast between what we had yesterday and what we had today is the temperatures sure have warmed up really quick.
Yes, they have.
We're now seeing temperatures in the 60s. Instead of highs in the 60s, we've got actual air temperatures in the 60s. Actually, 72 already in Tuscaloosa.
Nice.
I think they're well on their way to 80 probably today.
That's
Upper 60s, Anniston, Hamilton, 67 in Gadsden. So a nice start to the day for sure, and a nice couple of days really. We've got another really nice day on the way for tomorrow too, and then things obviously take a turn. So one last check. Temperatures basically region-wide, we're in the upper 60s. And low 70s. So, Griffin, like we talked about yesterday, chance of severe weather. Today, I don't want to say today's a transition day. Tomorrow's more the transition day to a more dry air mass that we have on top of us right now to a more unstable air mass tomorrow.
Yeah, slowly but surely the dew points are going to start going up. Today, the dew points are still kind of on that lower end of the threshold, in the 40s and 50s, which is why it feels dry outside. But that's going to kind of change tomorrow. You'll start to notice it a little bit more, and I think the cloud cover will start to increase more as winds stay out of the south, and that helps to lift a lot of moisture up from the Gulf, and that's typically what you would expect out ahead of storms. Exactly. Firing on Thursday night.
Exactly right. So what happens out ahead of these storms is basically Wednesday, you get more moisture in the air, you get more clouds around. You'll definitely see and feel a difference tomorrow. You'll feel the humidity in the air tomorrow. Temperatures will still be warm despite the clouds,
Yes.
but you'll be able to feel the difference. And then by Thursday afternoon, we're going to see storms right on our doorstep. We're talking 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the evening. You see Futurecast shows those storms moving on in. Now, there's still some uncertainty. I know 2 days out, you like to have a pretty good idea of what's going to go on. There still are some small uncertainties, how much instability really is going to be in the air, because our last event, if you can remember, was we had 2 to 3 days of unstable air already in place for the storms to tap into. We had rain before, we had a warm front move south, or a cold front move south, and a warm front move north on the day on Saturday, or actually on Friday, and then you had a whole day to see the atmosphere destabilize, and then the storms moved in very late Saturday night, early on Sunday. This is more of a shorter duration event. You're only going to see the unstable air in here for, I don't know, like 30 hours maybe?
Yeah, and that's a good thing. That usually helps to kind of mitigate the overall threat level, and I think we're still pretty confident in the timing of it. I've been wanting to say that it's similar to this past weekend. It's not that similar because it'll be, let's say 4 or 5 hours earlier, and it should be moving through faster. I think by around, let's say 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, we should be done with it.
Yes, indeed. So everybody wants to know about timing. What's going to happen? Well, let's start off. The timing basically is going to be a lot earlier than last time.
Yeah.
Like you see, storms already in the area by 6 to 7 o'clock in the afternoon, and this should definitely, there we go, this should show by 9 to 10, starts to get closer to the I-65 corridor, and then moving across the state by overnight on Friday. This latest model has it moving pretty slow actually through the state, but we honestly think that most of the storm should be through here by 2 to 3 o'clock in the morning on Friday. So basically you add about 5 to 6 hours to the timing we had on Sunday, and that's what you have for this event. Can obviously go one of two ways. It could either, with all the instability, the lack of instability, could limit things, but the timing also could be a factor that makes storms a little bit more explosive. It also could make storms a little bit more expansive. So there's a couple of different factors working against this. Still, the upper level part of this, the upper level energy, where is that going to be? Is that going to be further to the north? Is it going to be displaced from where this area of low pressure is? There's still a lot of things we don't know, but what we do know is at least there's a chance that we see a decent chance that we see some strong storms during that time frame. So once again, reiterate, Thursday afternoon, 5 to 6 o'clock, entering West Alabama, then moving across the state, and everything should be out of here by 2 to 3 a.m. on Friday.
Yep. And one thing that's tricky about these types of events is you have different meteorological factors that are kind of counteracting each other. For sure, tomorrow, farther west, is where the storm system as a whole will be at its strongest. So there you have that enhanced risk area that stretches from Austin all the way up to Oklahoma City. And then when you fast forward to Thursday, this is the slight risk area that we have here. And part of the reason that it's a slight risk in 2 out of 5 is because we have factors working against each other. Like you mentioned, Nate, the instability is not all that great, and that's one of the key ingredients that you need for really robust thunderstorms. The wind shear is decent. I mean, we have winds that are changing speed with altitude pretty well, but they're not really changing direction all that well. And unfortunately, this is like the majority of the events that we get in Alabama.
Yeah.
It's a communication challenge because areas that do get hit can get hit pretty hard, but it's pretty isolated.
Yep.
I think it's going to be maybe this spot gets hit, this spot gets hit, but it's not everywhere that gets hit. So the results can vary widely.
Sure.
That's the big thing.
And I think we saw that to a certain extent on Sunday. That whole day was just kind of all jumbled into one.
It was.
So the event on Sunday morning early, we saw a couple of different areas, especially in Mississippi, that had huge-looking tornadoes on radar at least.
Yeah, and they're up to like 15 total.
Yeah. So they're up to a lot of tornadoes, but obviously they cross the state line, and what happens? The threat starts to fizzle out. And we had our fair share of scares, but really nothing that compared to what they had in Mississippi. And I feel like we say that a lot. It could have been worse. It could have been in Mississippi, like the last probably 4 years or 5 years, we've been able to say that. So, like Griffin said, hit and miss. This is not going to be a April 27th event by any stretch. This is going to be very hit and miss, but still, that doesn't mean anybody should let their guard down and that you shouldn't prepare like you would see a tornado. So we want everyone to be prepared like you're going to see a tornado in your area. If you don't, great. We're happy that you avoided it. But if you do, you're prepared and you know what's going to go on.
And I think it's obviously hard for us to narrow down exact regions that are more likely to get hit the hardest, but just based on the timing of it, I know everybody's in that slight risk area, but again, based on the timing of it, the storms are more than likely going to be stronger when they first enter Alabama.
Yes.
So in West Alabama, I would say maybe a slightly better chance of seeing some more stronger storms, but everybody runs that risk of maybe seeing some severe weather.
Yes.
Thursday night.
So if I had to guess, most likely, okay, if I had to guess, we're going to see an enhanced risk
right in there.
here, maybe. And I think they stop at the I-65 corridor.
I think that's probably.
And that's rough.
Fair,
That's a rough estimate. But that would be that circle that you see there. That would probably be what might be an enhanced risk by tomorrow or by Thursday during the day. You'll see that pop up on some of our models and some of our products that we show you. An enhanced risk just means a higher risk, but that's what Griffin was talking about. The storms that enter central Alabama before midnight are going to have a higher possibility to produce severe weather than the ones that move through after midnight. Yeah. It's simple physics, it's simple thermodynamics, it's very basic, but all the instability that you have during the day kind of carries over into the night. As you go throughout the night, you lose those characteristics. So we'll see. There's still 2 days, and there's still a lot to watch. So just like we told you last time, we want everyone to be ready. And what does that mean? Know where to go. Have a plan in place. Make sure you're calling everybody that you need to make sure they know where you are and
know where your shelter is.
Know where your shelter is. And we got a Facebook message, and I wanted to address this. We got a Facebook message from someone who lives in Leeds, and they talked about there not being any storm shelters there, and the fact that she lives on the second floor of an apartment. Okay, when I first moved to Alabama, I lived on the second floor of an apartment in basically down 280. Okay, there aren't any storm shelters down 280. It's a populated area, a lot of well-built structures, so there's not really a need for storm shelters there. Normally, if you were in the event of a storm, there's a lot of well-built houses there. You can go to a business and seek shelter there. But if you live in an apartment, what do? Well, you make friends with your neighbors on the first floor.
That's literally the National Weather Service's advice.
Yes.
You make friends with your neighbors downstairs.
Yeah.
And if you can, then they should be more than happy to let you in and let you seek shelter. I mean,
Yep.
severe weather is one of the things where everybody kind of comes together.
Yeah.
It affects everybody. It's the common denominator. So most people will probably be willing to let
Yeah.
you inside.
Yeah. If you don't feel safe, if you know somebody with a basement, if you know of a church that has that's well built, go there. I mean, those places are built for lots of people to gather and lots of people to be safe. I feel like we've had a lot of churches damaged here with some of the tornadoes. I know there was one in Beauregard that was damaged.
Yeah.
There have been some churches here that have taken some damage, but they're not totally destroyed. They're usually pretty well built structures.
Yeah.
So if you're make sure you got tomorrow. If you're going to go to church tomorrow, maybe ask somebody, hey, can I come here if there's a tornado? Do that, and that's a good way to maybe find a place of shelter that you might not be 100% comfortable staying at your home, whatever the case might be. Just make sure you got somewhere to go.
Especially if you're in a mobile home.
Mobile
Because
homes for
those
sure.
They're a no-go in events like this.
Yeah.
And it's the best option in that scenario is you got to go to a shelter.
Yeah.
Or just anywhere that's got a foundation.
Yes.
Any building's got a foundation would be great.
Yep. And maybe this time of year, schools might be doing something to help out. But anyway, just find a shelter. Make sure you know where to go. We don't want anyone caught with nowhere to go and not knowing what to do. So
Yeah.
make the plans now, and then if you don't have any problems with this event, hopefully the next event you can know where to go at that point, and you'll be good to go. So.
It's happened before and it'll happen again.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, this is not the last time we're going to have severe weather around here. So having a plan in place now is the best thing to do. So we'll have another update for you, of course, coming up. Ashley Gann will be in. Griffin will be in. Sarah's in right now. We're working pretty hard to keep you updated.
Already putting our plan together for Thursday night.
Yes.
And we're ready.
Yes,
We're
we
ready
are.
for this, yep.
So what I'm going to do after we get off of Facebook Live, I'm going to attach the article that is on our website, cbs42.com, right now that kind of breaks down our severe weather chances. If you are more into the nuts and bolts and the meteorology of it, I think you'll find it helpful. If you're not so technically inclined and kind of science maybe puts you to sleep a little bit, there's still some very valuable information in there. So I'm going to post that there and take a look at that. And we're going to keep updating that throughout the duration of the week until we get up to the event to have all the latest forecast information there, what you need to do, and preparation goals there as well. So, Gene, I'm gonna sign off, man. But take a look at the Facebook Live. We kind of break it down for you. I know I don't want to get too much far into it, but take a look at the Facebook Live.
Yeah.
And we appreciate you guys watching. Basically, Thursday afternoon into the evening. That's the timeline. So
I'll go back and answer any questions in the comment
okay,
section.
cool,
too.
yeah. All right, so Griffin's got the questions answered. We will talk to you guys next time. We'll have another Facebook Live for you, most likely later tonight, and especially tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll really nail down the details. So everybody have a great rest of your Tuesday. We'll talk to you soon.